Are you ready for this race season?
I'll say that it's been a really, really eventful off season. You know, they always say that a lot of the work for the race season begins 6 months before the race season starts.
We've got a great group of people, we've got great cars, so yes, we are ready. But as always, we set the bar really high, and to achieve that high bar, we've got to execute with all of our preseason testing program. Like today, April 15th, we still have more than a month before the first race. We're all in the shop here working hard, trying to make sure that all the little bits are where they need to be and there's no stones left unturned.
Looks like a few clouds for the afternoon.
First time GT4 car. So like for me, I've done the BMW, so in CASC, which is just like a street car retrofitted to be a race car. For me, it was mostly just about like, okay, come in here, respect the throttle application. Yeah, like cold track, wet track. So really, I think the main goal for today, like if we're trying to find one metric, is just that at the end of the day, and come out and say that I'm really comfortable with the car. Oh, you're on throttle the whole way back. Okay, so what I can confidently say, so because I wasn't going at like a pace, I'm accelerating.
I'm doing all of the engineering, car setup, fuels, tires, stuff like that. And then I'm also kind of the test driver and driver coach. Test the car and test a whole range of different setup options to basically dial in our understanding of the setup and find little bits of time here and there.
Okay. It's wet. You can get patches. Just stay under wet until you get a feel for the car.
Okay, so anytime you have any steering angle, no more than half throttle. Anytime you're on anything wet, so especially bottom of turn 2, bottom of turn 4, like 30%. Have fun.
I'm excited to be here. I'm cold, but this is what we got up here in Canada, so we're gonna make it happen. He's super confident. We're gonna get him in the car. We're gonna get him at least used to the car, used to the conditions, because we will get rain at some point during the season.
It's going to take at least 2 or 3 laps for you to get any temp, but make sure that you are leaning on the tires a little bit, right? Especially in brake zones, because you need to build up that temperature.
I think that going into our second season of FEL now, obviously with our new team, VPX Motorsport, the fact that we are our own program, our own people, is really, you know, it's really good for us as a team to know that we are now not dependent on anybody. We're not, let's say, outsourcing things to somebody else. We're doing actually everything in-house. We have full-time engineer, full-time techs. We're currently prepping our cars. We have been doing it for the last 2 or 3 weeks, but we need to make sure that we have all our gear, all our car set up, our team ready to go. It's probably our first really exciting excursion, if you want to say. What I'm looking forward to most is making that work, having our team gel. So 3 guys per car. Okay. So 2 guys on.
Now it's time to get to the track. A lot of momentum right now with this new team, and just can't wait to get to the Victoria Day Speed Fest to see what we can do with it.
Got a really good car. It's a credit to our crew. Our crew has been working literally till midnight or 1 o'clock every single day to get our car in the right
let's say, lane.
And then something changes, and it's like, oh, fuck.
You don't get the compression to help you.
Yeah, okay. It's just different than I'm used to. Yeah, it's different. It's like, it's
as
not.
it's happening, it's easy to add steering or do whatever, and I look at people so I can see when I'm going to get out.
If we want to succeed, we have to toil at night. We have to toil in the evenings. We have to toil when everybody else is sleeping, because that's the only way we are going to be successful. Our next event is the Honda Indy, so this is a really, really good prep and proving ground for us to make sure that we have the right crew, the right car, the right driver, the right engineering.
So Mark LaFleur, our new driver this year, is doing a great job. He's so fresh in race cars. Funny enough, Thursday, the first test day, was his second day ever driving the car. So he's done an incredible job of making big steps forward every session. He's developing his understanding of both the car and driving techniques. And it's really cool to just see him build basically every session. We got a great turnout with sponsors and team supporters. I think everyone's been having a great time, so honestly, I'm excited to see what Mark does in race 3 and see if we can keep up with the top 2 this time.
Making the pass going into the
We're not just quick fixing, we're not putting a band-aid, duct tape's not going on the car, we're actually going to problem solve that. And if that means that we have to not do something or give up on something, initially, but the end result is going to be much better, then so be it, right? We will do it to make sure that we are, putting out the right product, putting out the right race car, having the right team, that when we show up for that event, we're gonna be the best. We're gonna be the best version of what VPX is.
runner up in the. Congratulations again.
Team owner, team principal, Vince Partab has been absolutely hustling. So one of the biggest things that he did was bring in Zankin Group as a title sponsor, really leaning on our Mercedes-Benz affiliation. So that is a great thing because now we're going into this race season aligned with a great partner with very similar interests, and it's just an awesome platform to build and grow together.
Really, James Huntley is. Our title sponsor and title partner is Zankin Automotive Group, which is a very large automotive group in Vaughan, and they actually have 5 Mercedes-Benz dealerships, which for us is a great collaboration because we have AMG Mercedes-Benz race cars, and they saw an amazing value not just in the racing side, but in the people. And that to me really tells us that we're on the right track, that they wanted to invest in us as a group because they see a lot of potential in the next 2 or 3 years for us, and they want to be a part of that, which is what I've been spending a lot of my off season doing, really creating the buzz, but also creating the value proposition for our partners to really be a part of what we're doing.
With us being a new team, the Toronto Indy is such an iconic event. That is 100% the event that we have our eyes on. We want to win that one. We want to make it ours. So we'll see. Not exactly sure who's going to be driving at it yet. A little bit hopeful there still too. But either way, I know we're going to show up in July ready to win.
Toronto has roared into the streets of the city here at Exhibition Place. That makes it officially day number 1 of thrilling motorsport in the city. Now, if we look around here, you can see crowds have been arriving gradually throughout the day, starting in the morning and into the afternoon, all coming to take in some of the non-stop practice, qualifying, and racing scheduled over the next 2 days, all culminating in the main event on Sunday.
Look at that corner first before you decide where you're going to end your braking, because this corner is one of those corners that has 4 seconds. Yeah.
It's going back and forth behind you.
Oh, perfect. The car that you see running back and forth behind us is the Racing 10 Alzheimer's livery, and that is a foundation that has partnered with us, and its owner and founder, Phil Frangs. We had a lot in common, and raising awareness in general for charities and things that were important to us, and we aligned with this, and he was very supportive in supporting us here at the Toronto Honda Indy for this weekend. Our driver in that car, who is a long-term driver with Phil Frangs, his name is Nick Galante, and a super guy that we're really happy to be with, and you know, he comes with an amazing pedigree. So again, Nick, it's the same thing. Fast in, patience, right? All of these things, fast in, patience. You see, we're lucky this year. They got rid of the manholes.
It looked pretty.
Yeah, this stuff,
Did things cause the bumps last year?
we were like this the whole way through. Like there was no time that we were happy in this corner.
I think I still got any bumpy.
It's gonna be bumpy.
Okay.
So you're gonna come
So coming out of
Lakeshore
3.
Boulevard, right? Turn into 3.
3, yeah.
Okay. Go through that S. Get as far right as possible.
Yeah.
And then that's gonna be a right-hander. The
Yeah.
curve is much higher this year.
It is,
You
huh?
don't want to be hitting that curve.
Okay,
So that's a late apex. That's a 90-degree turn. That is, for all intents and purposes, a 90-degree
isn't it
turn.
kind of like turn 10, but the other direction, like a left-hand turn 10 at Mosport, almost? Like the last turn at Mosport, it's a left-hand version of that.
Yeah, but this one is a full 90 degrees flat like this, so late, don't go any of that kind of stuff. You don't need it, right? You just need to take that as smooth as possible. I always say it's a true 90-degree corner.
Right, okay.
Just don't hit the apex. If you hit the apex, you can damage your car.
Okay.
The thing is, there's 3 or 4 surface changes, and in the wet, that's going to be slippery as hell. Braking, you can still trail brake, but if you go into too much braking, you're dipping down into 3 surfaces. Drivers. Our driver, Mark Leffer, the number 3 car, who ran at the Victoria Fest. Nick Galante, who is in the number 77. These are 2 different drivers, so this weekend we have 2 different strategies for them to optimize their ability to extract the most out of the cars. It's a different circuit, so we've been working for literally 2 weeks in different forms of testing to get these cars ready. It's a real testament to how different this track is than most of the other tracks we run on. When we do that, we will we'll be able to really gauge how good our setup was. We're really positive that we have a really good car. We have two really good cars.
We've been benefiting the Alzheimer's Society of Toronto. Many friends and donors have been introduced to us. For that, we're very appreciative. We made a difference. We probably, with matching partners VPX, our racing team, and FEL Motorsports, my company Logistics, every $250 donation to add a name to our car has resulted in $1,000 to go to work here in the community in Toronto, taking care of people in great need that are affected by Alzheimer's and dementia.
I'm like, okay, if I have half grip, instead of braking at 3, I'm going to brake at 5.
Yeah.
And now by doing that, my temp is raised, so the next lap, the bar's going to be here.
Yeah.
And then it gets out. A tech or somebody jumps in, whoever it is. Jason said we got a very minimal amount of tire pressures. If we got 2 guys checking tire pressures, that's great. The podium cars go straight to tech. So that's whoever is in charge of doing that goes straight to tech. So let's have that.
Both, well, everyone that you're up against is relatively inexperienced with the race wheel. Yeah. So you should have an advantage there, so bide your time, right? We know, remember the final lap of your queue, you overbrake for 3 because you finally lose the performance of the car. Basically, at the start of the race, also remember the way we've done pressures. You will get better as the run goes on. If you can make a move going into a technical section, like the right-hand sweeper, even if you dive in there or something like that, then you can get distance before we get back to the straight.
He's just going to defend that corner the whole
but basically, for him to have a move in the 3 as possible, you pretty much got to be pushing the guy out of 1.
Why not?
Right there.
Why not? Once we get it, because we're going to bring everybody through there.
If you're 5 feet behind out of 1,
no, that's
you won't
not
be there in the 3. You got to start. You got to start that. Yeah.
And he's starting on the inside of.
If you can get, whoever it is, if you can get them to defend into 1, then Bob's your uncle.
Honda Indy is a very different animal. You need to have completely understood the car before you even get to the Honda Indy, because you have to master the car in a way that you're comfortable with how it drives, and then you have to go drive it in a completely different way at the Honda Indy because it's a street circuit. It was a difficult first race because of a particular incident, which our driver then lost some confidence. And I think much as we tried to go back and say, hey, look, you have the skill to do this, it was just at a point where that was out of VPX's hand, and it was a decision that the driver made.
I'd rather do 2-4 testing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like that's, I don't want to, it's not my car, I don't want to fucking nick something, nick a fender. Well, look.
Wow, Nick was in the trenches for all 3 races at the Toronto Indy. The first race was pretty wild with Demi and with Jack. Demi was able to jump out to an early lead and basically had to be very defensive. There was several points where there was gentle contact, and really, after reviewing all the footage and everything, once everyone had calmed down, it became pretty apparent that there was a bit of a miscommunication between the drivers. They're both from very different backgrounds, right? Demi has raced CASC in her BMW and done extremely well, and she's developed as a driver to an amazing degree. Like now she is genuinely driving very quick and driving very well. Nick, on the contrary, has raced IMSA for the last 12 years, and so he's used to drivers who are experienced in these GT4 cars going wheel to wheel, and when it comes down to it, when you have over 20 cars running GT4 in the States, there's gentle contact that happens, and there's a bit of a code of how that contact can and cannot happen. So I think a lot of times throughout the race, Nick was making gentle contact with Demi in a way that he felt comfortable with and was used to, and for Demi it was completely new. And obviously, if you're getting hit several times in a race car while you're driving, and you're being hit in a way that you think is not normal, acceptable conduct, how are you going to feel when that race ends?
Like, what are we, Canadians?
Yeah.
Fucking
Good job. Good job, buddy.
Good job, buddy! What it is! That's your engineer.
Oh my God, I love it. That's good. Right? You're going to be pissed. So seeing the interactions between the two is actually pretty cool, because Nick made a great gesture reaching out, and the response, to be frank, was completely understandable. Because like I just said, with the difference of perspective taken into consideration, Demi was pissed. And instead of saying something flagrant and something that she'd regret, she just said, hey, you know what? Not now.
And in his first starts in the GT4 class, winner here in race number 1, driver the number 77, Nick Galante.
Thank you so much. Good job out there.
Quickly, Nick, it wasn't easy. It was a tight race in the GT4 class.
It was. There was. I mean, Demi was fast all weekend, and she was fast right out of the gate. Unfortunately, there was some contact. We were bumping a little bit, and then. When we got into lap traffic, there was some heavy contact, so it was a little bit of a scramble there, but we were able to come out ahead. But just being here, what a great place. I love Canada, and I love Toronto, and I'm having such a blast here. Everybody's so nice.
What a run for Nick Galante in race number 1, your winner here in the GT4 class. Both combined with the Blue Marble.
Where's Alex?
Radical Cup North America coming up later on today. Champagne, a little bit of finishers here in all 3 divisions.
That Mustang's fast, man. Fuck that, yeah.